You're watching Drake Queen Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Queen Gaming, and something to me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Wayfinder. So yeah, before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now up for as little as $5. You can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming not safe for work videos. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain you were up, alarm chain you were up, and let's go. Alright. For me to cry into your big, strong arms. I can feel the bulge in his pants against my leg get harder, and I know my plan is going to work. The blush on his face is uncomfortably rewarding. Even in spite of his surroundings, his eyes meet mine and his lips part. Tucker might be stronger than me, but I have the law of attraction on my side. Time to strike. Almost like how you cried in my arms after your daddy found out about you spending the night at my place. His face unfurls into a look of shock, and his cheeks redden. But I don't. This is bad. This is bad, y'all. This is so mean. I don't want to be that mean. Skull. Alright. Times. His face unfurls into a look of shock. Okay. I hold up a finger to his mouth and look him in the eye. Don't interrupt me. After everything we've done together alone, I know you better than any of these goons by now. Tucker looks around as the few people in the hallway stop and give him disappointing looks. Let's not forget that you were the one who asked me out, Tucker. He finally comes to his senses, getting mad at me being put in his place in front of his friends. The hall suddenly quiets down. Maybe I'm too good at making a scene. Shut your face or I'll do it for you! Yeah, Jesus. I laugh at this, emboldened by his reaction to my prodding, but still a bit cautious of him. Oh! Big Bad Tucker's going to hit someone! What a shocker! You push your weight around, pick on guys smaller than you, even threaten me into silence to impress these assholes, and for what? All because you couldn't handle the fact that they're just not going to feel as comfortable in dressing in front of you when they realize, right? That does it for Tucker. The implications were enough to anger him. He pulls back his fist, ready to try to hurt me, but is caught by a furry silver paw-like hand. Ah! My gaze shoots over to the person who interrupted the punch, a lithe wolfman with silver fur and azure blue eyes that lock onto mine. He's not as tall as Arkin, but he's still just a bit taller than me. This doesn't help make him look intimidating, as he's still a bit shorter than the goons surrounding us. Nevertheless, he turns and stares Tucker straight in the eye. Get lost, or you will have a lot worse than a scolding to recover from. The goons laugh, clearly not intimidated by this wolfman's size. I have to wonder what they see, if they're looking at who I'm looking at and not being scared off. Tucker just laughs in his face. Ha! Dudes, kick this guy's ass while I deal with Finn. While he's still looking away, I take my shot. My knee gracefully glides upwards into Tucker's groin with such force that I see his eyes cross. I manage to duck under Tucker's arm and run past the goons as they watch their leader being wolf-handled. I'm halfway down the hall when I glance back to see the goons knocked off their feet by the wolfman before he begins running after me. Alright. What's that now? Alright. He had taken the opportunity my getaway provided to bend Tucker's arm against his back. Then, after twisting Tucker around in place, threw him into the group of varsity goons. They're up in a few seconds running after us, but my new companion and I are already rounding the corner. I make it through a pair of double doors and turn into another hall with an exit at the end. However, I know this exit. It's a long run around the building. There is a parking lot just outside with loads of cars, through which the goons would likely spend a long time searching. Instead of going outside, I open a janitor's closet halfway down the hall and hold the door for my lupine companion, quickly slipping inside myself and shutting the door behind us. Out of breath, but trying to be quiet, I cover my mouth as I try to slow my breathing down. The wolf sharing a closet with me isn't having much trouble at all, luckily having a full life full of cardio. I whisper to him as he listens to the hallway through the door. Phew, thank you for the assist, Wolfman. Wolf Giant. Wolfman implies that I'm a werewolf, but we do not... Maybe I should have a different voice for him. I hold up a hand for him to pause, sighing as I realize I'm 0 for 2 of these wolf giants. After all, I've heard this before and really should have known better. You don't really associate. That's right. Sorry, I'm still not used to seeing you guys. So, Mr. Wolf Giant? Yes, Mr. Finder? I walk up to him and look him square in the eye as well as I can in the dim light, holding out my hand. Thanks again. Name's Finn. What's yours? He takes my hand in his paw and surprisingly shakes it. Ooh, excuse me. Well, no. What voice should I do for Geral? The name's Geral, and it was my pleasure. I cannot stand the sort of men who would unfairly group up on someone smaller than them. I smile. This meeting was going a bit more smoothly than the one I had last night, although to be fair to Arkin, by the end we were on better footing. How long you been a finder? You're not supposed to see me, but I cannot tell what I am at first glance. That is unusual. I almost shy away from answering. His almost noble way of speaking has caught me off guard. Okay, noble. Okay. I decide that maybe being honest will open him up for some answers of my own. About 10 or so hours now. Just found out last night, actually. He seems to take this in, reflecting on it, but still keeping an ear up for the hallway. Oh, but you have met another wolf giant before me, yes? That is the only thing that makes sense. Otherwise, you would have been quite shocked, I am sure of it. How many of my kind have you met? I met one last night named Arkin. He was pretty off-putting at first. Followed me home from the park, but it turns out he saved my life from... Well, I don't really know who it was. Actually, you saved my ass too. Thanks again. Geral seems displeased, and as soon as I find out why, his noble gravitas drops. But not by much. Damn it. Of course that vessel-lined wolf found you. Okay. So you know. Okay. No matter. Well, he'll be but another obstacle to overcome. I was hoping he would fail out before the trials, though at least it is not a wolf of the bear lineage, bear bloodline. What? I feel lost, so I decided to try and ask a few questions myself. What did you mean about the trials? How many of you wolf giants are around, and why are you all appearing so suddenly? He lets out a low grumble and looks through the door as he opens it a crack. You will have your answers in time. As soon as another wolf giant finds you, we three will be qualified for the real trials. Great. More non-answers. Geral looks back over to me with an inquisitive look. Did those pricks hurt you? I could have handled them myself, but I might not have been able to avoid maiming them. It was smart of you to start an escape when you did. You have good senses. You have good senses, Finder. Finn. I'm not used to guys complimenting me, so this catches me off guard. Honestly, I only ran because I knew I'd get my ass handed to me if they were all to attack me at once, but it ended up impressing him. No, I'm okay. Thanks for stepping in, by the way. It was nothing. You did not exactly wait to be rescued, though. Your dirty tactic is what allowed us the chance to flee. Geral smirks at me and looks back outside. He pokes his head out, then gives me a thumbs up as he opens the door for us to leave. Ah! There's a penis in the hole! So, why was that barbarian trying to dent your face? I roll my eyes. He wouldn't answer my questions, but now I'm answering his. That barbarian is my ex-boyfriend. Geral lets out a wolf whistle. Well, shit. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, he's a self-hating dude, bro, who I honestly never should have given the time of day to. I wasted a few months trying to get him to be more comfortable with himself, and me for that matter. One night about 3 weeks ago, he heard a rumor about himself from one of the guys on the junior varsity football team accusing him of being a gay. Geral snickers, and I don't blame him. Tucker was being absolutely ridiculous, but that wasn't the half of it. I heard he kicked the guy's ass pretty badly, but then turned his anger toward me. He stormed through my door. Should have never given him a key, but I've since requested and received a lock change. He began to threaten me and actually threw a book at my head, nearly missing me by a hair. I sighed, holding back toward where we had run and then where we had hidden, and shrugged. Our relationship is anything but amicable at this point. Ironic, isn't it? What is ironic? For someone stuck so far in the closet, he didn't think to check inside this one for us. Ha! That's pretty good. Geral lets out a snort and pats me on the shoulder. Well, you seem to be able to handle him on equal terms, at least. Geral walks towards the direction we had come from, and I follow suit. So you know. As we walk, I find his eyes watching me, darting away when I look toward him. I strike up some more conversation. So, are you a student here, or did you just come to, find me? The lupine's black lips lift into a smirk, thankfully enjoying my cheesy pun. Both, actually. Now that I've found you, I will need to keep using glamour magics to appear as a student like I am doing now. This way I can remain in proximity to you and the other candidates. Geral stops for a second, likely feeling that my heart skipped a beat at the mention of proximity. Ooh, excuse me. You need not worry. We will not be intrusive. The trials will fit around your life. Whichever candidate finds you last will also remain here under glamour. The real trials will begin when you are ready. I take this into consideration. I still don't know if I want to have any part in this. I know next to nothing about candidates or trials or even what exactly a finder is, but hearing that it won't ruin my plans is sort of a plus, I suppose. Is that a conscious decision of whomever is running these trials? Why can't you tell me more? Geral sighs and pats my shoulder. His paw-like hand feels warm but heavier than I expected. His proper way of speaking also seems to drop off as he softly speaks, as though he were lowering a curtain to let me peek behind. Like I said earlier, you'll learn all you need to in time. Please, Finn, go about your day as normal and remember that I won't be following you. I'll be keeping an eye out for you. I won't let that barbarian or his cohorts harm you. He ruffles my fur. I don't even bother swatting his hand away as my cheeks begin to warm. My hair is already ruined by the time my reflexes even consider kicking in. Geral walks on as I watch, disappearing around the next corner with an elegant flick of his tail. I sigh and turn to the nearby doorway, heading into the campus library. Time to study. I sit at a desk along a wall with a railing up above, directly below the balcony of the upper level. Bookshelves line several paths perpendicular to the long desk, held into place by several pillars at each end. I like to sit over here as a few years ago there was an accident in which bookshelves dominoed and injured a few people, so over here is the most safe place in such an event. It's a pretty stupid phobia, admittedly, but the kind of day I've been having warrants caution. I was studying and managed to get a good few chapters read in just under an hour, but now I still have about an hour and a half to kill before I have to leave, so I decide to humor myself and look into anything related to wolf giants or werewolves or wolf people in general. I find one horror story called A Wolfening by Yancey Oates about a werewolf who gets killed in a hit and run by a couple and is avenged by his family of werewolves. There's another, also horror-adjacent, called Howling Helena by Jorgen Kingkiner, which starts out as a romance story but turns into a coming-of-age story. Second, now. So the time. It looks to be about a girl who's kicked out of her family, but in the midst of a slasher story on a ski lodge, makes a found family with a pack of werewolves. Not sure how this one will end, but it's interesting to say the least. It's a few good horror books to work through, but I doubt any of these will help. I'm reading a rather lengthy chapter in a novel about a girl who travels to another world with her brother and meets a wolf, when suddenly I feel tiredness. I don't think a nap would hurt, but I really shouldn't. Not here. I blink several times fast, trying to fight the weariness of my eyelids. It seems to work as I continue the page and move on to the next. Oh god. God damn it, I fell asleep again. Ooh. I wake in a large plateau under the dusk sky surrounded by mountains. Another dream? This voice, it's different. Looking off into the distance, I see the moon watching silently from behind the mountains. I see my target, and I brace myself to begin, then take off toward it. Something calls out. Something familiar, yet unknown to me. I want to stop the dream, but I can't wake on my own. I notice myself running strangely, and realize I'm on all fours. Wait, do I have paws? I do have paws, and a muzzle. Awesome! Can I howl? I try. I howl. A woo? I think it sounds quite lovely, thank you very much. Alright, I'm going to pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. But before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank you all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silvermoon. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. We greatly appreciate it. And thank you to our gold tier patron, Amr. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subscribing to our ultimate Patreon tier. And anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits and get access to our not safe for work videos, it's as little as $5. And if y'all want the ultimate Patreon tier for $15, you get an awesome icon. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!